Welcome to the verdict room. Pull up a seat. We're seeking the truth. Dropping in week after week. Yeah. Last 24, lay it out on the table. True crime experts peeling back every angle. Looking for answers real exact. Pin the timeline, track by track. Our Bronx telling tales, she keeps us in line. Every little detail, every tiny sign. They break it all down at Dago's Cafe. Coffee on the counter, new case, same day. Welcome to the verdict room, where we're seeking the truth, no spin. Bringing you the facts so raw, let the evidence speak again. Exposing all the secrets, looking for the lies in the cracks. They throw revelations at your feet till the gavel comes down on the facts. Hey! Typically unique, but the method is clean. Red string on the board, map out every scene. Replay the last call, rewind the last text. If it don't add up, they on to what's next. Side eyes, alibis, tear them apart. Trail through the dark with a flashlight heart. Bronx on the story, keeping pace on the track. Every minute, every motive, never holding it back. Welcome to the verdict room, where we're seeking the truth, no spin. Bringing you the facts so raw, let the evidence speak again. Exposing all the secrets, looking for the lies in the cracks. They throw revelations at your feet till the gavel comes down on the facts. Week after week, you know the sea's still warm. Cold case heat brewing up in the storm. From the Bronx to the booth, they connect every clue. When the hammer hits the wood, you know the verdict is you. Welcome to the verdict room, where we're seeking the truth, no spin. Bringing you the facts so raw, let the evidence speak again. Exposing all the secrets, looking for the lies in the cracks. They drop the gavel one last time and the truth keeps pulling you back. Yeah. Welcome to the verdict room.
Alrighty. Welcome back, everybody. Good
Yo.
to see you
Hello,
tonight.
hello.
What's up,
Welcome to the
How you
verdict
doing?
room.
folks? How are y'all?
Oh crap! I need to get my ring light. 1 second. Sorry.
I'm great.
Another week has ended.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Needs
Another
to
week
rain.
of true crime.
Yeah.
We're here to
Here we
talk.
are again. Back to it. Happy Saturday, everybody. Hope you're having a great weekend. Well, I guess not.
It's going. It's going.
Good. Going.
It's going.
How was your weekend so far, Miss Kimberly?
It has been a relaxing one so far. So yeah, the weather's been decent. It's like 35 and sunny, and everybody around here thinks it's like summertime. Like no jackets. Like
Same
Does
here.
everybody got an attitude?
I don't have a tude. I don't have a logitude today.
Oh no, I didn't mean
Oh,
you. I meant
Logan,
the people up in Ohio.
Oh.
Since it's getting warm, so everybody
Oh.
here, it's getting warm, and I feel like their brains have thawed out, and everybody is a D-weed right now.
we're
On
not
the
at
road.
home yet. We're like itching to get out of the house.
Yeah,
and
we all have cabin fever. That's what the problem is.
cabin
Well,
fever. Yep.
Just wait.
It's nasty.
We
up
don't
here.
become like dickheads. We become like I want to do everything people. Like give it probably May is when everybody starts to get that I'm better than you attitude. Get out of my way. I'm gonna drive as fast as I can. All that kind of shit. You know.
Well, we're pollinating.
I need to start my seeds for my garden.
Yes, same here.
Tomatoes.
I do all kinds of stuff.
We do it all. I'm
Cucumbers,
planning this year.
squash, zucchini, mint.
You ever done potatoes?
I have not, but I want to try.
Oh my god, those
don't
things
think
are
we-
like a treasure chest when you're digging because they grow down and they go through the dirt. Like you could start out a foot from the soil, and next thing in a bed, you can go 3 feet. Like these things just travel. It's wild.
I have to try it.
I don't think we have the right kind of dirt, Kim.
No?
Oh, you need the clay, Joey.
Ooh. Well, we're not in Idaho.
This is
You know-
true.
You know, it's funny. So my buddy that lives outside of St. Louis, they lived in Florida here for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. And so his dad was originally from the St. Louis area. And when they would go on vacation up there, his dad would take buckets and bring back soil so he could grow tomatoes down here.
Oh, smart.
Yeah.
It's
It's
a good
great.
idea.
He was great. He was an old Vietnam War vet. Poor Larry. Golly.
Welcome, everybody. By the way, good to see you. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Oh,
Hope you're all having
anybody,
a great Saturday.
anybody who
Thanks,
tuned in
everyone.
last night to the what's it called? To Crimes After Dark? If you can see my door, that doesn't go to the outside. That goes to my kitchen.
I was so worried about you. I'm like, quit freaking her out.
This guy told me the next day. And I was
Yeah,
like,
I had a
man.
friend over.
Dude, I was flipping out.
Oh, you did? You had,
I was
okay.
ready to call Mike,
was
and
worried.
call somebody, and call 911. Like, send somebody to her house now. She's like, no.
It's so funny. I wanted, because you were freaking out, and I was like, oh, because I have somebody that helps me with Bronx a lot of times when I go
Right.
live. So I told Dago in the back chat, I was like, no, it's like, it's okay. But then I was like, oh, that's kind of a funny prank, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do prank
yeah.
people over there. So that was
Yeah.
like, listen, Twiz don't get worried about nothing. Twiz messaged me in the chat, was like, Dago, Discord now. So I go to Discord, and he's like, bro, what the fuck? There was a white hand that came through the door. I saw this thing, and I'm like, what? And I
That's
go back,
funny.
and he sent me some real quick video he shot, and I went, Bronx or Logan. I'm like, are you sure you're alone? Like, are you okay? Like, I was flipping out.
I actually didn't even know. So I went back to go open the door. I leave the door open just in case Bronx wants to run through, because there's my guest room is back there too. So yeah, so I got up to open, and then I was like, oh, okay, yeah. That probably was the real
it was
person
scary.
that was here. Yeah.
I was
So
scared.
funny though. It was funny to me. Sorry, guys.
Joey was like,
Something is wrong here.
I'm like,
Run,
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 run. I would have ran out, man.
oh my God.
So funny.
Mike, that was good. That was good. I like that. Something is wrong here.
I was gonna say something, but then I was like, actually, let me just see how this plays out.
I was watching, like, Robin was losing a grip, laughing. I was watching Logan's face. She was laughing, and I'm sitting here like, you guys are fantastic.
That was great. That was great.
After I figured it out, of course.
So funny.
We've had weird stuff like that happen. Remember those lives with the ghost hunter guy there at when they went to the octagon? Oh my God. And there was figures moving in that house.
Dude, that shit was not even funny to me. That was freaking me out.
Do you guys think the ghost hunter stuff is real, or do you think it's all staged?
It's some of it's scripted, some of it's real, I think.
I've been on a lot of that stuff.
The one he's talking about, he was in there.
I believe
we
in
were all
energy, but
there was a mannequin in the basement of that octagon house in Kentucky that the face moved.
Yeah.
I'm not lying.
Yeah. The
I
ladies
definitely,
loved him.
yeah, believe
Molly
in
was
energy.
there for that too.
The octagon.
I didn't even sleep that night. It scared the shit out of me. Anyway, and I did that. I did ghost hunting. So whatever.
It's
Did
interesting.
you find any ghosts?
So real quick,
What?
Kim and Logan and
Say
Mike,
that again,
how was your
Logan?
week this week, even though we all see each other almost every day. How was your week this week?
He
Did
my
you hear
best. No.
Did you guys hear me?
I don't know.
I heard you. I think she's reading her chat. My week was busy, talking about different cases. Gave an update on the D4VD case. Been following Nancy Guthrie.
What's going on in the David or D4VD case? I haven't been really watching it much anymore.
I don't see how that kid's still out.
I was confused on whether he's actually been indicted, and apparently he has not. But some of his court docs got released because it's in the grand jury process, and the grand jury subpoenaed his dad, like his family members, and they wouldn't go, like they're fighting it. So then that created a court case, I believe, in Texas, and so then that got those documents, I believe.
Yeah, that's how Fisher got a hold of those.
So yeah, who's the detective or whatever he is?
SR Investigates, Steve Fisher.
Yes, this guy Steve Fisher got his hands on him. So it does look like, though, that David Burch is like the prime suspect, and charges are probably going to be coming.
Thank you, Bianca, for the one gifted membership. We have a
agree.
great new turtle. I appreciate you so much, Bianca. He hasn't been arrested yet, has he?
I don't think they know where he's at.
Oh,
They can't
okay.
find him, from my understanding.
Yeah.
Yikes.
And they've had a warrant for him for a minute.
Which I think is probably why they want to talk to his dad. Like, where is he?
That's
They probably
kinda
figured that they
strange,
can.
though.
Yeah, they probably figure they can squeeze his dad, and he'll kind of like give in at some point if they threaten him, or vice versa. You know what I mean?
He must have split, because he was literally on a tour bus going to his tour the night that they found him.
Yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's wild. I just don't even understand why they didn't like detain him or anything when they found the vehicle, and it was connected to him. Like,
Yeah.
it seems so strange that they just didn't really do much right when they found it.
yeah, immediately in for questioning.
Yeah, exactly. Where's the questioning? It's, over and over.
And this dude is a freak, mind you. The dude has an incinerator in his house. He's got some weird ass
Farm equipment.
Farm equipment. Like
Yeah.
what the hell?
I think those kids were into some serious drugs of some sort. I can't figure it out, but I don't know.
I mean,
think they were like,
going on.
he like role played murder stuff, like in his concerts, like white bloody T-shirts were like his thing that he would sell. And
Yeah, this dude is not Marilyn Manson. Right.
And I know that a lot of people, just say, hey, that's art. That's the art that I like, which you can get away with because that isn't art. It's just strange that then that was connected to real life, though. So then it looks different.
Bingo.
Yep.
And it also looks like he wrote songs about it.
Oh, all of his songs. If you listen, I'd never listened to his music before that, but I got trapped into it for days.
Look
and
up
like
his lyrics.
Some of them lyrics.
Yeah.
Wow, they're on point, and they really follow the story of him and Celeste's relationship.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
And, real quick, sorry, Mike. Meg,
you're
thank
good.
you so much for the memberships. It looks like Mittens for Kittens, Chiefs 1511, Mustang Granny, I Rubberneck, Mandy, and I think that's it. Yeah, all you guys,
Meg is
welcome.
making the rounds because she came over to mine also. Thank you, Meg. 5 more unique peeps.
All
We
right.
got Charlie Girl says, go Tur 6, go Meta. Eve Coppola, Lucky Shooter. Welcome.
And we've got 5 new turtles over here from Meg as well. Chemistry Queen, Trace Australia, Z Callie. Oh, interesting. Sliden Leiden and Tanel Ray, and that's it. Yep. Thank you,
You
so
are
much. Meg.
amazed balls,
Yeah.
Miss Meg.
Thank you, Meg. Mega Star.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Welcome in, Eve. Welcome in.
I think also too in that story where I was leaving off was how we've kind of heard that like she would go back and forth to home. Like I don't think this all started out as a relationship and like feelings just grew as he was trying to help her at some point. And as she would go back and forth to home, I feel like the relationship was breaking at that point too. So things were strange. It was like an on again, off again relationship.
What kind of a real relationship could they have, Mike? I mean, she was what, 13?
But it's the internet. These are 2020 kids. When the big C came out, the whole world went upside down. Everybody got weird.
She was 11 in the beginning.
That's
My
right.
my
11.
problem I have with it is that her family knew she was with him. Her brothers, her mom, and they didn't do anything about it. And now suddenly she ends up deceased.
The family's kind of interesting,
Money.
though.
Money.
Yep.
If you,
Flash, and that
Yeah.
sickens me because that proves you can flash money in front of anybody and they'll pretty much do anything for you, and it's sickening to me.
They failed her 1,000% over.
Everybody did, yeah.
Yep.
And it was grooming over a long period of time.
Very much.
I mean, I think he was in high school when they first started they met online. So just through the computer, but she was like kind of his sidekick on there until it got in person.
They were gaming together or something, weren't they?
Yeah, Discord, Fortnite.
Yep.
He tried to deny knowing her, and that's when everybody just started taking, well, even before this came out, I think people had taken screenshots of them on Twitch because they knew the age difference.
Right.
I mean, it was so bad that it was speculated he kind of had a decoy. Like he had another friend that was of age that kind of looked like her, and so he would make her come all like wherever they would go, so that
Unreal.
try to
and
she was
like the pictures you put up of the other day, Kim, were shot like they were purposely excluding her from the photograph, but like there's one or two where it looks like her hand could be stuck in, and that made me go, okay, that does look like, because I looked at her hand in another. I mean, I know it's a hand; it's hard to actually perfectly identify, but it very much looked like it could be her hand, which told me they were purposely excluding her from the photographs. There's got to be a reason for that. That's all I'm saying. So
they're at the point now where they definitely know there was a connection between the two of them, and they're trying to prove she was in his house. Like they're trying to prove. So this one photo surfaced where they're like sitting around this big table, and it's David and it's his friend that refused to testify, that got arrested for not going to the subpoena.
You can see her the night before they left for tour. She's in Neo's Instagram photos. You can see the back of that Hello Kitty freaking hoodie. I swear to you.
The same night he left for tour?
The night before, when they all look wasted.
Right.
But I thought they found her body in the car the night he left for tour.
No. Okay, so let me back up on that. It was pre something else. It wasn't that tour. It was pre something else. So what he was doing.
Something
but
else.
Yeah, like, and it's in that house. I went too deep in this.
No, I love it. I love the information.
Going through the house.
Anybody who's just joining us, we're talking about the D4VD and Celeste case right now.
Yes.
And if you look up that house on the internet, you can find all the photos from when it was previously for sale, so you can match up the rooms.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's there.
You did some diving. I love it.
Interesting.
Yeah, so hopefully we get justice for Celeste Rivas Hernandez is her name. That is her name. That's who it's about.
So sad. So everything was just so unnecessary. Nobody took care of her like they were supposed to. She shouldn't have even been there.
No.
And sadly, I have to say that I feel like that's what happens in a lot of cases that we have missing kids and things like that. That's where it starts, is in that same type of a situation, in my opinion.
Yep.
Very sad.
Mm-hmm.
People think, oh, they're famous. They're in the public eye all the time. Nothing's going to happen to me.
Yeah.
Nope, it doesn't work that way.
Looks like that's the way he's running. Invincible. Even like the way the stuff that his parents have done and stuff,
He's probably not even in this country anymore, you guys, to be honest with you.
Dude, if that was my kid,
right. We already know. We already know.
They wouldn't have been there to begin with if that was your kid.
Now, didn't she was considered a runaway like twice, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
she was.
And I went through that. I went through that before.
And bring her back once.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then, like I said, I went through that with one of mine, the rebellious one. A lot of you guys know him. We called him Tupac because he just thought he was Mr. Thugtastic and all that kind of stuff. So, he got away a couple times, and the police could never find him. But I knew exactly where to go. I'd show up every time, drag him out of the house, throw him in the car, take him home. A couple days later, out the door he goes till we locked him somewhere for a while, and he finally got the ideal. And sometimes, you got to do what you got to do. The point is parents, a lot of parents would have just let it happen. They just let it go. Like, well, I can't control it. I'm not going to try. No, that ain't how that works.
Oh, he's just growing up. He's going
Yeah.
through a spurt.
Listen,
I was
if I'd have
even-
ever done that, my parents would have. I wouldn't be sitting here right now. I'd probably be deceased. My parents would have killed me. Period. So, just saying.
Yeah.
I think it would be really hard that in this day and age with the internet and phones and preteen kids and things like that. I would be like, first of all, you're not getting a phone because I don't know who the heck. I would be like that, overbearing, just because anything can happen with the internet. Kids are so gullible.
Do you helicopter mom, Bronxy?
Oh my god. Yeah, actually.
The Bronx does not get a phone. He's not
I would
getting a
too.
phone.
Never getting a phone.
I do the same.
My kids didn't get their phones till they were 15, all of them. And the first phone they got, no lie, was a flip phone that did nothing but flip open and dial. The youngest one, the baby, luckily, we were beyond the flip phone scene, but he got a phone, and it looked like it did all sorts of fun things, but all it did was dial phone numbers, period. So he was pissed, but it is what it is.
I remember when I got busted for sneaking a pager when I was a teenager. Where'd that come from?
Hey, oh my God,
She
beeper.
calls me Jessica Rabbit. Thank you, Sleuther.
That's so cute.
Now, we need to get a Roger Rabbit sound effect to play every time somebody says that now.
You're
That'd be
awesome. I do. need-
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. That was
That is
generous.
great. I didn't know you were following I just call him David Case. I don't know how to say all that shit. So
Who?
the
Kim?
D4 Ivid guy, whatever the hell his name was. Logan. I didn't know Logan was following that one.
Oh,
Do you guys watch the Pascal show? You guys know who Pascal is? He calls him D4 Vida.
The what?
D4 Vida. Because it's VD at the end. D4
D4 There you go. That's how I'd probably say it too. Makes sense.
Yeah.
So we're gonna get it there, Meg. Don't worry. We're working on it. We're just now got all this together. We'll get it. I promise. Oh, so guys, where do you want to start, guys? Where do you want to jump into? Idaho, Nancy, or what else? What else do we have? Logan, any thoughts? What are your feelings?
Let's start with Nancy.
Let's do that.
What you got, Mikey?
no. No, I was leaving. I was pointing at you for direction. I was saying.
Is there anything new in the Nancy Guthrie case?
Are there more fake news?
2 days. People are outside taking pictures in like patent leather outfits and stuff. Like, how disrespectful.
So
Oh my God.
One thing JLR played it the other day, and I'll be damned if I could find the clip today because he runs 14-hour lives. But going back to when he played this 2 days ago. And anyways, when all those coyotes are howling, I swear,
He recorded it. Yeah.
if all the clips you find online, you can't hear this, but I swear before or after there's sirens in the background.
There was before.
Dogs
That's why they started
howl
howling.
to
Yeah.
sirens. So it's not because of what some people said. Oh, well, maybe that was the night that. No, listen to the sirens in the background, and dogs howl to sirens.
That's exactly what happened that night. Because he recorded it, and you could hear the
Yeah.
sirens, and then you hear the coyotes going crazy. So yeah,
Like, when you were a firefighter, I can imagine you guys are rolling through the country and hitting those things, and you could just hear the dogs.
hit the noise in the cherries, boys. Every time. Every
I
time.
still think because of that, though, they should have went out. I hope they went out and searched that wash area. Don't you
They
think?
should.
I mean,
Yeah.
just rule it out.
Hell, I howl at sirens.
I don't know.
Damn it, bud! You're not supposed to let that out on live.
I'm too comfortable with you guys. That is what it is.
The latest updates are that I think the house is empty. I don't think anybody there. There seemed to be someone staying there, but they did put in a security system, like Simply Safe, something like that.
That would explain why Comcast was there that one day, the whole day.
Yes, so that totally made sense. I don't even know if there's any media there anymore. Is like JLR was there still today, but they went up to the mountains. But I don't know. I didn't see Brian Enton. I don't know the search. I saw someone posted a comment in JLR's live that they like rumor that they did something with that Jason neighbor guy. Like, I don't know if they're calling him in for questioning or something like that, but that's totally a rumor. And I would bring him in for questioning.
I would
the
too.
ring. Did you see that, Logan, with the gloved hand? It looks like there's a ring underneath of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
And
you
they're
can see
saying
it
that
clearly.
it's the neighbor.
Well, he was
lives-
interviewed twice. He drove himself to the scene when all the media was out there from 15 minutes away. He lives like 15 minutes away just to go talk to the reporters.
Oh, that's the glasses guy?
Himself. Sorry, Mike.
That's the glasses guy?
Yes, he was wearing sunglasses every time.
Yeah, he's something.
And he
And
was
he
like
was-
strangely hype about it.
Yeah.
Yes. He was trying to pin it on Tommaso.
Yeah, there we go. Yep.
That's freaking odd. I don't even know.
Insert thyself. Blame
They
it on
do
someone else.
insert
Yeah.
themselves
You know what
sometimes.
they say. That's why they, ended up getting drunky the other night. Wow, that guy was smoked, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was one.
big time.
Chad is saying that Brian Enton's still there. Sorry.
Oh, of course. No, you're okay.
You
You're fine.
think-
I'm
telling
sure
you
he'll
that.
never go away.
He hasn't been involved in any of it, and I don't know if he's trying to stay away from the limelight or what it is, but I can tell you this, it's very suspicious to me.
I mean, would it, just a random stranger come up through here and just target a 84-year-old woman? I mean,
This man's mouth freaks me out because when you look at the masked guy's face, it's almost identical. It's weird.
I think so too.
Very weird.
Planned.
Planned,
That's
okay.
just that's my gut. It's not just random. I think it was something that, and like they say, the first people that you need to talk to is the family members. And they haven't, as far as I know, they haven't spoken to a lot of people except for, Savannah and a couple of, the brother and sister. But that's just my take.
as you being a Pima County resident of the Tucson area, do you have confidence in Sheriff Nanners?
I do not, especially after last night.
Especially
Something is wrong here. Thank you. Yeah, that's Jason, everybody. Again, it weirds me out. It just like Kim and I have done this a couple times where we've been looking at him, we've been looking at the masked guy, we've looked at him, and this all just kind of like, damn it.
Yeah.
Again. It's correct. Oh, we have Officer Payne in the chat.
Oh, is it where?
Fun size. Is that the one?
Welcome, Fun Size. Thank you for doing it, for interviewing him in the room.
How did you put that together? That's what I want to know. What is wrong with your brain right now?
I don't know. Sorry. Baby Payne's in the house, guys.
Hey, Fun size. We're not making fun of you. We're laughing at Payne.
No, it's not you, Fun Size. We appreciate you being here, but I had to use your name for that. I'm sorry.
You know who I think it might be that did this?
Uh-oh.
It's actually Brian Enton. Because if you think about it, he's always where all the crime is.
Always.
I'm just kidding.
Him and JLR.
That's funny. That's funny.
JLR.
Like, that's his job.
He always shows back up to the scene of the crime.
Just kidding. Everything's alleged in my opinion only. Don't sue me.
Nothing.
Don't you think they could have ruled that guy? They should have ruled him out by now. Like, there's so many of these people that, well, they've got two instances where they did put on this big show with, one of them was a federal warrant to go after that Lucas guy, and
Yeah.
and then we hear nothing. Like,
Yeah.
either that's it, that's the person, or clear them. Like, you should be able to gather enough evidence, I would think. They've got DNA, they've got probably fingerprints, video. Now they have a car. That's the other new thing, is that
They have DNA. They had DNA.
and so this is suspicious, you guys. The a neighbor 2.5 miles away got had footage of a car driving by at 2:36 a.m. that same night and
Yeah.
never turned it in.
And you know what? They say that a lot of these cameras out here aren't going to catch anything because it's too dark. Well, hot damn! You want to know what? That looked pretty GD vivid to me.
Yes,
It
it
did.
did.
It did. And I kept saying your outdoor cameras have that
Yeah.
that red light, that ultra whatever they call it, UV light or something
Right.
like that.
As Logan would say, it's 2026.
Yes. 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 So
I mean,
this guy.
I'm
Go
not
ahead.
sure if I saw if I lived 2.5 miles away from a crime and I saw a car drive by in the early morning hours. I'm not sure I would connect it, especially if I didn't follow crime.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A lot of
Here's
people
the
are
thing, though.
blind.
If you live in that area though, Logan, and you don't
Yeah.
have a whole lot of like traffic regularly, let alone that time of the day, it might make you suspicious. You know what I mean?
That's true, yeah.
We
And
had
I'm
a
not blaming the homeowner. I'm blaming the cops because they
Yeah.
originally asked everybody within 2 miles to check your cameras. Like they explicitly put out that request. So after that didn't turn up anything, they should have expanded that, in my opinion, because that is a pretty large area with many, many roads that can lead away from Nancy's house. So I think the police should have been knocking on doors asking for stuff because
Yeah.
I think it was a reporter that ended up getting it.
Yep.
I don't think they should put a distance limit on where you check. Look, anybody who lives in this county
Yeah.
and you have a camera, check it at this
Yeah.
time, this time, this time.
Yep.
It's ridiculous.
I do
I
agree.
agree. You never know.
And I do find it funny too. And I'm gonna show this next video. It's an updated video from yesterday. How this guy was inserted along with his network into this case almost damn near immediately. And this is probably one of the lowest rated networks out there. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the least reliable networks, the least reliable storytelling. I mean, it's like of all networks to put into the middle of this investigation, you're gonna put Harvey in here. Come on, guys.
And he started with the David case. This is all how that went down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
True.
where did that go? Nowhere.
Same exact away. So let's check this new update out and see what we can get out of this. Ta-da.
You ready?
Against Nancy's house makes no sense. That it's the opposite direction.
Sorry, I forgot to bring it back.
Welcome to TMZ Live. There is some interesting information, not just about Nancy Guthrie, but about Savannah Guthrie. So there's been a lot of talk about how does she come back to the Today Show as long as things are unresolved. And
Hey, you want to know something? Now that he said that, just to bring up a real quick talking point, my wife has been following this one too, and she's been following the background side to this with the Today Show and her and all that kind of stuff. And I guess they were talking about because Hoda has filled in for her since she's been off with this.
Huda?
Hoda.
Sorry.
And at that point, they're saying, I guess they're looking at the ratings since Hoda's been there. And I'm thinking to myself, are you guys like, how ignorant can you be that you're looking at the fact of replacing Savannah Guthrie because her mother went missing? She had to take time off and people are watching you more now.
Let me guess, the ratings are going up.
Of course.
But you want to know what? Are they covering the Savannah Guthrie case?
That's what I was
Exactly.
just gonna say. They're
And
going
this-
up because people are tuning in to what's going on.
Was that staged somehow?
I mean, I'm not going to go there, but it's kind of sad. Okay. I'll
Yeah.
just say that much. So, back to you, Harvey.
Well, I think what's kind of sad in a sense is you look at Savannah Guthrie, which is somebody that has a lot of money and she has the option to not go back to work because she has a lot of money. But what about us
Right.
everyday people who don't have that luxury? And, we get 3
Yeah.
days and then we have to go back to work.
And you want to know what? your case and somebody's case, a lot of these people's cases are this large, and they are never known because
We're not important.
Exactly.
Exactly. And a lot of people have had to go through that situation, Logan, where like I had a critically ill child and it took 2 years to go through that, and it's another hardship on top of it. So if you have a loved one that goes missing, and then you just rely on possibly the kindness of your company you work for
Yes.
to extend grace to you, or help from other people, like average people. We just got to figure it out.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Yeah,
and that's
that's
not
sad.
saying anything bad about like people with money, but it's also sad on the other point to where it doesn't matter. I mean, look at the situation. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You can't get anywhere with situations like this.
No. No. Agreed. Very good point, sir. Very good point. All right. Let's see what we got here.
Reality is, and our law enforcement sources are saying this, that this case could be unresolved for months, even years, before they find Nancy Guthrie. That is just a stark reality right now. The FBI does not have any solid leads, nor does the Pima County Sheriff's Office. They don't. And they are at a point now where this is becoming a cold case. So Savannah Guthrie acknowledged this in her last video, that it would take a miracle for her mom to be alive at this point. And there are realities to all of this. This is a very religious family. Nancy Guthrie was very religious. And, the closure of finding Nancy, whether she's alive or not, is something this family clearly needs. I mean, you see this written all over Savannah's face, as she's spoken over the last month. And she's not getting that closure. And so the question, what does she do? Does she come back to the Today Show and just, as they say, put on a happy face, and, kind of, push this to the side for 2 hours a day, or not? And if she decides to come back, when does she do that? And does she address it if she comes back? She's going to have to say something. But it is a shadow, a cloud that will be cast over her. You can just feel it as you watch her, until there's some closure with her mom. So here's what we're told. We're told no decision has been made yet. And that Savannah, we are told, has not communicated anything to NBC in terms of a return date.
And she shouldn't have to.
Bro,
and
I'd be damned if I'd be going back to work.
Right.
Hell no.
And if they hold her to something like that, shame on them. I'm telling you right now.
It's just bullshit to be talking about it. Like, who gives it? Who
This
cares?
This shouldn't even be a topic right now, you guys. It should be still about her mother. Not
like, hey, Harv, where did the jack monkeys go that were sending you all these letters? How about you talk about that, bud, rather than her going back to work?
There you go.
Yeah,
golly.
Some notes. Yep. Because if they didn't lead anywhere, then maybe tell us a little bit more information that was in them, so people could be on the lookout. Or
well,
no,
I'm right. And he goes from the FBI is super interested in my first email that I got to this.
You know what? They probably, because they shut him up and they said, hey, you want to know what, dipshit? You need to stop talking about this shit. So this is all he's got left.
Good point. And yes, Christina, her husband is in politics, from my understanding, to some extent. So, not that has anything to do with anything. I don't know. I'm just saying it's true.
It all depends how she's feeling. Like, I mean, we all know she's, horribly sad and, distraught over this whole thing. It just depends on, is she done? Does she still want her career? If she still wants her career and she's like not in that, if she's functioning and able to go back, I would say go back, because those are the people you're closest with and you'd have the most support.
Right.
To, like, wean your way back into it.
But do they really, are they giving her that much support? I mean, come on, Kim, from day one, do you think any of them step forward for any kind of more money for a reward for her coming?
Well, that didn't happen, but
I'd fold it up and go home.
Go ahead.
I'd fold it up and go home. I don't know.
Why didn't NBC step forward
Mhm.
because and support her and say, you know what, we're going to put up $100,000 for the reward towards this. That's the network that she's helped to grow since she's
Yeah.
been there. She's part of US or Jesus. What the hell? The Today Show. Sorry, I was thinking of 5 different shows. Sorry about that. Um, and she's helped to mold that show since
Mhm.
people have left and changed and stuff. I would think you would hope that the company you work for, if they're a large entity such as NBC, would step forward and say, "Hey, let's help her out. Let's put up $100,000, which is pocket change to them, I'm sure. Hey, help her with this." Nobody did nothing. Nothing.
That's a great point. That's what makes this all seem suspicious.
Right.
There's so many aspects to this that are the way they investigated, the lack of money for a reward, the lack of it's been public enough with the media covering it, but it hasn't been public with people coming out speaking like that about it.
And then it rolls you into what you hear that they held back Savannah from putting out more money because it would blow up the tip line.
Exactly.
Huh?
Don't you want that to happen?
Uh-huh.
Duh.
That's the problem. That's
That's
a big
the
problem,
point.
in my opinion.
Sorry.
I mean, do
you're
they
good.
not want the tip line blown up because they know what's going on? Like, I
Well,
hate to be that person that thinks everything's a conspiracy, but my goodness.
I don't know if you heard it, Logan, but they were complaining about the tip line and they were making statements like,
Mhm.
if you're going to call, make sure you're calling with actual tips and not just ideas or what ifs or I thinks. Make sure it's an actual tip. And I'm like, wait, hold up, stop. You're not going to sanction
Yeah.
something like this. Take everything and anything they're giving to you because you don't know if it's a tip. You don't know what it could be.
And it goes back to having all that money. Can you imagine having all that money and you want to put it up and they go, "Oh, sorry. No, we can't take your money. We're trying to find your mother, but no, we can't right now."
Insanity.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, when people call, they call because they don't know if it's a tip, and the cops need to investigate it to find out if it's a legit tip or not. That's the whole
Right.
point.
Right. Absolutely.
Or lack thereof. And the important thing we're told is NBC
No wonder why she
has
called the senator.
absolutely not exerted any pressure on her for any return date.
That's what they're told. We don't know that's true, but and they could think that pressure is any. Listen, it shouldn't even be a conversation. Like I said, this shouldn't be being talked about right now. In my opinion, we're not even a full month into this,
Yeah.
and we have a network talking about this already. And I'm sorry, that had to come from somewhere. And I don't believe that there was nothing at all. Like even I'm sure they were like, so we know that you're feeling something right now. You're distraught. You're upset, but and this probably isn't a good time. But you have an idea as to when you might be back. I'm sure
Yeah.
that question was asked. That's all I'm saying.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
So, somebody in chat asked, how long do you need to be missing to be considered deceased? And I just looked it up. In Arizona, it's 5 years of no sightings, no
Right.
contact, no nothing. So,
Yeah,
5 years
that's
for what?
5 years to be missing before they can consider you deceased.
in
Oh,
Arizona.
wow.
Because
Yeah.
in insurance policies, they don't fulfill in some senses until you have been declared dead. And then based on that, people have, because there's a case I covered a while back where a mother um, declared her child dead after a period of time to be able to fulfill an insurance policy and so on and so forth. And it was to help with the investigation to look into him, which is ridiculous to me. But yeah, that's why some people look into those things and think about those things. It's a good question, Logan.
I have a question. How long will they keep? Because I think everything they took into evidence, they still have, right? Do they still have Lucas's car? Do they still have?
I
I saw
believe.
they still have Annie's car too.
Yeah,
or
they have
whatever the
Annie's
heck.
car. That was a big deal
Tomato's
too.
car?
Right.
Do they?
It's weird. It's weird that they have those two, or they have the Annie and Tommaso's vehicle.
Yeah.
And they have Nancy's vehicle too, don't they?
Yeah. and
Why?
they have the blue
But they're
chart.
putting security cameras and shit back in the house.
Why do they still have their vehicles though?
Yeah, makes no sense. I don't know, Vern.
And there's fake news channels out there that are reintroducing Tommaso as the prime suspect again. So
Oh,
I want to know what they had on like this Luke guy and the other
Yeah.
people. Like, what did you have to get a warrant like that signed to go detain him?
it's a good. Well, other than the fact that I believe that he looks like the guy in the mask, but I mean that's a good question. Truly,
I mean, you can't just say, "Well, we think you look like him."
no,
can you?
no, no. You're right. That's a good question.
Let's think about that. It was either a call-in tip or some type of cell phone data or surveillance camera footage
Something. Yeah,
somewhere.
right.
Like
That's a
his
good point.
car getting caught. And then if you really deep dive, a lot of people think because Kayla, that Kayla
She's related. Yeah.
had her court hearing the other day.
Yes.
And it's interesting I think it's the same day that all those suits and everybody showed up at the house. That was either the same day as her hearing or the day before her hearing. And then now all of a sudden, houses turned over to the family. Like it's
Thank
all
you, Allie.
coincidental.
Right. Right. And they have completely bounced over the fact that the Kayla girl is related to them. Okay, that's been proven. That's a fact. That's not even. There's no question. That's never been spoken about. And she was in the vehicle and arrested for drugs with the guy that they detained. Guys, coincidences don't happen like this. Okay, I'm sorry, they don't. There's got to be something there, in my opinion. I'm just saying.
Yeah, those are suspects or people of interest that have a criminal record, run in that world, have a connection of moving people, trafficking over the border. They know those ways. They have a reason to. Kayla was the one that is like in trouble right now in the courts, and if she talks to get a leaner sentence, that could be going after a relative, a high profile relative, to be like, shut up.
And he's about to hit a court date that had been postponed, right?
From February. He was supposed to have it 2
I'm
days
so
ago.
excited, Joey.
Yes, it's okay. He was supposed to have it 2 days ago, and they postponed it to May. Here's the thing, though, Kim. What is Kayla's? Yeah, they did do that. That happened last week or the week before. What does Kayla's husband do, though? What is what is he known for? That William gentleman.
Yeah, that's funny.
Well, his work was working at car lots, a salesman, but he's known for being in the Hells Angels, and he's known for human trafficking back and forth to Mexico.
And he's very, very good at it too. Very good at it.
Yeah.
That's kind of again, coincidences don't just happen in these cases like this, folks. It's just there's something there. I don't know what it is, but it's there.
What do you guys think of the small private plane that took off early in the morning about that time?
I've questioned that, Logan, truly.
I think it should have been vetted out.
1,000,000%. Yes. You don't just ignore something like that. This happens, and then there's a small private plane that just happens to take off in the middle of the night. Come on.
I think
Straight
I
to
flew over that
Mexico?
part.
Yeah. Goes directly to Mexico, too. Yeah, it's a good point. What'd you say, Mike?
I flew over that part.
That was funny. You should have hit your little drum roll after that.
I don't want to reach out.
That's okay. And yes, there were people filming some kind of a music video or some weird shit there in front of her house. It was very odd.
Yeah.
For TikTok. That was.
Oh
some
my
freaky
God.
shit. I think they even pissed off JLR because they tried to talk to him and he was like, I don't have shit to say to you, which is odd, but okay.
You like that comment, Kim?
I didn't see it. Where?
The comment that I posted on when you posted those photos today.
Oh, that was funny. That was so funny.
I said, I think maybe she was wearing his shorts.
What it looked like, yeah. That was a creepy looking crew. The dude had on like monster-sized platform boots, and I'm like, "What the fuck
Why?
are you guys doing?" I don't know, dude. I
Like-
don't know.
The best guess is it's like cover art or something or some. I don't know.
Surprised they
some
weren't-
goth style. It's just disrespectful, though.
Surprised they weren't splattered in blood or something, you know? David
Right,
style.
right, exactly.
God.
It's some TikTok thing. What's up, Eric Falk? Good to see you, sir. I don't know why I recognized you, but I do. Oh, now I remember. Okay. All you guys, thank you for being here. By the way, real quick, thank you to all the moderators for being here and doing this with us today, guys. We appreciate each and every one of you guys throughout this community. You guys are all amazing, and thank you for taking time out of your busy weekend to jump in here with us tonight. Thank you very much.
What are
So-
the odds that Carlos, the first guy that they came and detained, Carlos, what are the odds that his attorney's last name is Showalter?
What are the odds, Logan, that there's white cars involved in this again?
Range Rovers, tunnels.
I know.
What are the odds that it wasn't it 8 hours before?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, the parallels are starting to get disturbing. I think you have to buy a script nowadays to commit a crime, and you follow it's like Crime for Dummies. You get that little yellow book and go through, okay, we got to do this and this and this next, and make sure we got a fucking white car. It's
did.
crazy.
When I saw that car go by, I was like, oh, Lord.
Well, do you know that Daly's mother, the other one that was detained, she owned a white vehicle. The car that Carlos was driving was a white vehicle. Why? What is this?
The first thing I said when this all kind of came about was something about, I think I texted you, Mikey, and I was like, I would just die if it was a white Elantra.
We have gloves too, guys. Yes, we have many gloves. Welcome, Kawanda.
The
Good to see you.
asphyxiation. It's real.
It's insane.
She's trapped. She's trapped.
All right. So, I think we're going to move on past Harvey because we got the point from what he was talking about with the bullshit. With leave Savannah alone, let her grieve, give her time to deal with what she's dealing with, and please, I swear, I promise you this much: if Hoda KOTB, I can't say her last name, if she Cotby, whatever, if she takes over for this and Savannah no longer, people are going to protest that. I can almost guarantee.
Who
you
is this chick? What does she look like?
She's just.
Hoda?
Hoda. Who's Hoda?
Been there. She's been there for a long time. But
I'm blind to this stuff.
She was on when the other lady, the red-haired lady, what was her name?
Sally Jesse Raphael.
Jane Poley. Kim from Typically Unique.
I love this show, Jenny Jones.
Oh my God, Jenny Jones with the geek to chic makeovers. That was hot.
Wow.
Jesus, Joey, you getting a suntan, bud? God, you need that dark mode. Oh my goodness.
Kathy Lee Gifford, thank you so much. Yeah, Hoda was on there with Kathy Lee Gifford.
Oh.
There's Hoda Cat.
Oh, that one. Wow. She's wore out, bud. How old is she? She got to be 60. 61. Look at that.
Yeah.
Called it. Not too bad, huh? Yep. Just called it 60.
That
You can
would
tell
be
by the
her.
neck wrinkles.
Wasn't Jenna Bush Hagar? Wasn't her? last name?
Yeah,
Wasn't she co-hosting with Savannah?
I believe.
Yeah.
Really?
I
Yeah,
think
she did.
so.
They had a special segment they did from time to time, I believe.
Oh, I don't tune into mainstream media really much.
I
No.
don't know either, but I
I know.
know.
I think in the mornings, my wife used to watch this show from time to time. What's up, Mama Bear? Good to see you.
Hello.
All
Someone
right.
said Ricky Lake. Remember
Oh
the
my
Ricky
God.
Lake show?
Yes.
That
Yes.
poor girl. She swelled up.
He went up and down. So, what else do we have that's new here? I did get a couple new things.
I cannot believe you said Sally Jesse Raphael.
What the heck, man? Come on. I'm taking it back.
I just remember those huge red
Ooh,
glasses.
buddy.
Yeah, I have big red glasses. I should go get them, put them on.
That's so funny.
I swear there's another hit out there that I missed.
Let me
Who the hell?
see what I
God.
got.
Yeah, I hope they find Nancy. That's all I'm
Well, I agree with that. A lot of people are saying that they believe that she's alive and well, and this and that, and I hope, but I don't think anymore at this point. Unfortunately, I believe that it's the worst of the 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I get stuck on the pacemaker thingy,
Yeah.
although I don't really understand how they work or get the disconnected. But I think at this point, I always thought like, couldn't they tell? Like, come on, it's little. But somebody said when it disconnects, it's not going to give you any sort of alert if the
Right.
person passes away or anything. So
I heard
crazy.
somebody like semi-explain it. So, and my stepdad, he has one. So there's this. Though I'm gonna half-ass tell you this because I have to. But anyways, so he's got this thing that sits next to the bed. I ain't even gonna say this. I'm just gonna wrap it up because it ain't gonna make sense.
The
But-
home
Can I ask you a
connector.
question?
No,
No.
sorry.
No questions.
Whoa.
Don't answer questions.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm just
can ask
curious.
me.
I've heard people say, like, people were calling in to different shows and their experience with pacemakers, and they said that it connects directly to the doctor's office.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like,
And so they were saying that they would know exactly the time she died. Like the doctor's office would know that if she was dead.
so to go back to the word disconnect. So if you roll this back and you think about it, okay, so if that shows up, why are they pointing on that? So let's say you left your phone at home and you went to the grocery store. Wouldn't you be disconnected? So wouldn't it be the same shit?
You did. I agree. Yeah.
So was that just a bigger way to say, oh, we're just going to tell their pacemaker disconnected? Okay. So her phone and shit was at home and she left. So she's not there.
Well,
Is that what it boils down to?
it wouldn't necessarily be disconnected if her phone is on and with her and it's getting signal off of
Right.
phone
Yeah.
data. So I don't
But
think
the
it would
phone wasn't
necessarily. But in this instance, then yeah, it would completely be disconnected because she's not next to her bedside connector thingy guy.
And doesn't
And
have her phone.
And
doesn't
it's
have a
like, if
phone.
that's the case, then why didn't you just say, hey, you want to know what? She was taken from her home and her phone was left there and da 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 da.
Right.
No.
I still think that she was made to come out onto the porch and do the ransom in front of the camera.
As there's no video showing that though.
They
Well,
haven't shown it to us because she'd
you
be
know.
bleeding and stuff.
That
But
could be. That could be. That
Well,
definitely could be.
And there's blood at the scene, so that's why disconnecting from that's why it's more than she just left, because there's
Right.
her blood at the scene.
Wow. I just read on Twitter, you guys, because as much as I'm not a big fan of Frodo, he has followed this and done very well with this from day one. That because of the war coverage,
Yep.
it's been canceled. Him covering this has
Yep.
been canceled.
That's what
On-
they're all starting to say right now.
What is this? What does that say to you guys?
I thought about that before we came on here.
Yep.
wait,
If-
what's canceled?
Coverage. Brian Enton's, I just read his Twitter and it said there was something that was blacked out. That this post is unavailable. And then it said this is canceled 4 hours ago because of the war coverage. But I'm
Yeah.
still here in Tucson, keeping an eye on things. Appreciate you all.
That the news coverage is going to get torn away from this and start going to the war.
Yep. Distractions.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Welcome in, new member. Who got that? John, yay.
Very awesome, Bri guy.
Come on in, Unique Pete.
You know what? I can do it. Plug
Can
your
you?
ears. Plug your ears.
Oh my goodness.
That's awesome. Yay. Thank you.
Thank you, On Top X, for the $2.99 super sticker. We appreciate you always.
Yeah, that thank you was for everybody tonight.
That was
Yeah.
awesome. And again, plug your ears.
I got to put
Forgot
the
I had
TV
that.
on mute every time Kim does that because the dog doesn't do fireworks.
Oh, I need to say warning, firework warning, guard your
Yeah.
pets.
I won't run that one then.
Oh,
Sorry.
bud, you're fine. I got headphones
So,
on. She can't hear
Yeah,
shit.
very sadly, there's not a lot of anything new with Nancy's situation. I still have my questions, as I always have, and my issues with Sheriff. Okay. I don't like the decisions the man's made. I think that if the FBI would have stepped in the beginning, he would have allowed that. This very likely would have been solved by now, but no.
Yeah, it's weird.
So, and again, Kim covered this very extensively on the Typically Unique channel, about the whole reason why Sheriff is Sheriff Ding Dong, is because he was accused of some things, some RICO charges back in the day, and ever since then, because he's a little crybaby,
All kinds of shit.
he refuses to let go of a grudge, and because of that, somebody's family is suffering right now because of the loss of their mother. In my opinion, this could have been handled way quicker and better, and it was all over ego, and I think that's sickening to me.
I think his pompousness still continues to go on. And if you go back and listen to some of these interviews with people that used to work there,
Yes.
that the people that he's pushed out of the department, even down to when he was in the interview about the DNA, so that I can control, where the DNA. He's definitely a control freak.
That's
So
an
it is.
understatement, but that's an
Yeah.
understatement.
Brian said Sheriff Corrupto.
It is. It is gross, Brian. I agree with you. It is absolutely gross. Get over yourself. That's all I'm saying. Get over yourself and move forward.
Yeah. But some of these people in power like that, it's not about the job and the title that they hold. It's about where and what that title does for them.
Right. I do. Well, speaking of, sorry to jump sideways on this, but were there any updates, Kim, since they detained the gentleman under the DUI circumstance in front of Nancy's house? Have we heard anything else about this guy? Do you know?
Yeah, I think Brian Etten said it was just a total unrelated thing. The guy just showed up. He said drunk, but he was, under the influence of marijuana, I guess.
I smelled a lot of marijuana. They kept saying that. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. So they took him in. He was arrested and whatever, released.
But he had a photograph of Nancy on his phone, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing out there right now?
Just going to see the scene, I guess. Going to see what was.
Well, but did he make a claim or a statement like, I saw somebody, then I thought it was her, so I wanted to come back through here to make sure I was right or wrong or something like that, I think.
Maybe he was into the peyote.
That was said, but I can't remember now who said that.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Oh, the other thing. So let me know in chat if any of you guys saw this. JLR said that this was on his live. He said 2 women came up to him. I think it might have been yesterday.
Yeah.
And were crying and said that they knew who did this.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, go to the sheriff. And he said they wanted him to go. So I rewound that whole live searching for that footage. And I never saw the women. Did you see them, Mike?
No. That's like the coyote footage.
Did anybody see those women?
No, I just heard him talk
He
about
said
it.
that one of them had tattoos all over her face.
Surprise. They probably just crawled out of the wash, Kim.
But the way he talked about it, it made it seem like it happened on camera.
Oh.
Yeah, I never saw that.
Well, let's not forget that, and I'm not hating on JLR. I love that he's out there covering it. But let's not forget that JLR did have somebody stand outside of a sorority house one night and pretend like he was being a creep.
That's
and
true.
Could videotape it and catch a creep standing outside of a sorority house. It was all fake.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was all planned.
Chillin said 2 women talked to JLR.
That guy's on the loose.
Wow. Hey, you guys are funny.
Whoa.
Whoa. Is right.
let's see here. So, we do have some topic, or not topic, but some things to discuss in the Idaho 4 situation. Do we or do we not, gentlemen and ladies?
Yes, we had something we wanted to talk about.
Oh man, I like those shades, buddy. Jesus,
They're just
are those blue blockers, bud?
no.
All right,
They're
just checking.
they're just
I'm playing.
they do change colors though. It's weird.
Yeah, like psychedelic.
It's hard to see.
Mine are blue, Blu-ray or whatever you call them.
I need new ones.
Yeah,
I when I'm reading stuff, I put these on so I can see it.
I need a perm myself.
A perm?
A
A pair. I'm like, what the hell? No, we're not in the 80s, buddy. No perm.
Oh my
no
god!
Mullet, no perm.
Remember the smell of the '80s perms? Holy Christmas!
Yep.
My aunt had one religiously every time. She looked like
Don't leave her in too long; might get too kinky.
an Italian poodle every time.
Terms.
Yes. Okay,
Yes.
so where are we headed with the Idaho 4 conversation? What was it that we were going to bring up and discuss tonight?
That
you
was
guys? The slogan.
Pav's thingamadabby dooby da on. What the hell did she tell us?
Oh, the video
Yes.
that Pav put out.
Asget Productions, I think it was, or Asget.
Say that 5 times,
Asget.
please.
Yeah.
Asget. AZGET. Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Asget.
I don't want to say anything
Mexico?
bad about her because what she can do with that programming and everything is really amazing. Like she does amazing work, but she can only go off of the information she's given.
That's
so.
exactly where I was going to go.
I wasn't saying anything bad about her. I mean, if she's doing it for her job or hired to do it, I'm sure she's not out here knees deep in a crime case, right? She's working on production stuff and whatever. So I'm sure it was just what she was told or given to do.
Golly.
Sure thing. Give me a minute here. I'm going to pull this up, and we'll go from that.
But the issue is what she was told is way off from matching. So that's what we wanted to talk about, right?
Thank you, Bianca, for one gifted turtle. BronxTales True Crime gift memberships.
Oh,
Thank you, my love.
thank you so much, Bianca.
Paperwork.
We here. Yes, welcome to the new turtle. Turtle.
This fucking program sucks.
I got stuck. Sorry,
How
guys.
do you guys get the different fonts?
Yeah, how do you do that?
You have to pay for the
Nope.
very high end whatchamacallit, because I looked into it last week.
Yeah.
And they want $99 for a month. And I'm like, no, I don't. I'll just keep my good old boring ass writing. Sorry.
With YouTube, with like YouTube membership or something?
StreamYard.
Come on now. You can do it other ways.
I think it's StreamYard. Oh, no.
Oh.
So that's something different because that's not StreamYard. Yeah.
No, lots of people do it. There's got to be a way to do it.
You got to just be computer savvy.
Maybe you...
Bianca's very creative. She probably found...
Like you can import different emojis and shit without creating them. Like
Send
iPhone
me a
emojis
message,
and shit.
Bianca. Send me a message. How do you do that?
One minute, everybody.
Oh, no,
All right,
momento.
this is fighting with me. 1 second.
Oh, she said search. Carol said search the App Store.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's got to be like allow your keyboard to choose different things or fonts or something. Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah.
All right, let's check it out.
Let's do it.
And you let me know, Logan, where we should stop on this if you feel like that.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
No.
After these messages.
You're muted, Joey.
To see some of the
I said, all right, here we go. So
case that the prosecution plans to present. What do you think is the significance and how compelling will it be to a jury?
Hello, everybody. I think you're going to find this one very interesting because until we got all of the pictures, the forensic reports, the expert disclosures to be able to determine what the likely scenario truly was, there's no way that we could have really gone through and do what I'm about to show you in this video. But the first thing I'm going to show you is just how important the state ignoring what Dylan actually said in her statements and changing it to what you see right here in the probable cause affidavit. You're going to see firsthand how impactful this little bitty move that they made was. And it said, if you remember originally, that Dylan stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Gonzalez playing with her dog in one of the upstairs bedrooms, which were located on the 3rd floor.
Wait,
So they
I thought she said she was playing in the living room, in the main room. Kaylee was playing in the main room with the dog.
She did. Yeah, that's
Well,
exactly
here
what
it
was.
says DM stated she was awoken at approximately 4 a.m. by what she stated sounded like Gonsalves playing with her dog in one of the upstairs rooms, which were located on the 3rd floor.
And they got home at what time and were wasted? And they're still up?
And Dylan wasn't awoken by anything. She was already awake.
She was awake. Yeah.
But yet, once she was awake in about 4:15 to 4:20 something, wow, she sure got active on her phone, didn't she?
Definitely.
Yes. And when Dylan was not using her phone from 2:11 to 3:52 or whatever it was, that's when you hear all those noises sounding like a male is screaming at another male. There's females in the background crying. All that stuff is going on. So
And
either
conveniently, her phone is probably...
yeah, her phone is not being used at that time.
Right.
So to me, it's like she's involved in what's going on.
So what? Yeah, right. I agree. And what it is that he's showing is that this is how law enforcement changed it, which is pretty damn sad, folks.
Yeah.
We see this. How many times have we seen this now in this case where they've gone in and changed something completely upside down? So
Yep.
Just a little adjustment. We got to push it.
Crazy.
For sure.
Push it.
specifically changed it from her playing with her dog in the living room and dancing to one of the upstairs bedroom, which were located on the 3rd floor. Now you got to ask, why did they change her statement? Because her statement was the same, and all of her statements that Kaylee and Murphy was in the living room. Kaylee and Murphy went upstairs, said someone's here, and then ran downstairs. We now see the forensic evidence actually lines up with that. So why did the state change it? And I'm going to show you right now why they changed it. And this is the best way that I can show it to you. We know that the thing that likely pushed the defense team into the early plea was the Dateline special with all the new leaked information. But included in this special was a young lady's animation of what they believe took place that solidified Brian Kohberger being the assailant in so many people's minds. Now that we have all of the real information and we can verify what's real and what isn't, let me show you how egregious this whole thing really was. And I'll show you in no uncertain terms why they did not want Haley and Murphy in that living room.
At approximately 4:13 a.m., he begins to make entry.
Well, not there he didn't.
He steps in. He takes a
Well, he didn't make entry in the back slider because I thought Kaylee was in the living room playing with her dog.
And if we're going based on the statement that Dylan made that, Kaylee goes upstairs and comes downstairs, somebody's already in the house
On the 3rd floor.
Right. So that doesn't make it. This makes no sense. But
So we have only two options there. Either somebody came in on the 3rd floor or Somebody
were
was
there.
already there.
Yes.
Hiding.
Yes. Yeah. This is what they've done. This is exactly what they've done, and this is why we're discussing this.
And in my opinion, if we have one person hiding on the third floor, then I would assume since we have more than one perpetrator, we have another perpetrator hiding on the second floor and maybe even one on the first floor.
I was going to say the first floor would be a good place to hide in this spare bedroom. Good point.
Which is probably why we have that curtain kind of laying on top of the bed and the Scentsy light broken where somebody came in through that window possibly or left through that window.
Yeah,
so
very
too.
good point.
So if you walk through the sliding door and you go straight, you're going to have Dylan's room on the left and view into the living room on the right.
Or is it the other way? Left, right?
And straight up to the third floor.
Right.
So if he's doing that, she's going to see him. That's what.
Oh, for sure.
And, well, then there again, Lucy just said, or someone came in the slider and chased her up the stairs, and which, changes Dylan's story, but that's not too odd for me. So who knows? Because we don't really truly know the actual story. But again,
he'd be blocking the steps though. If
There's
she's
so
in
many-
the living room, he
There's
would
so
be
many
blocking.
floors and shit in that place, Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hide anywhere. You're not expecting it,
Right. Yeah.
Fucking trashy ass Dylan, in my opinion, letting him in.
I think she would run if that's what happened. If that's the case, if he came in and Kaylee saw him, she would run down the steps to the
Down
first.
and out. That's what I would think too. Yeah.
The poor girl, she probably didn't have a choice. Here's what's going to happen. You got to roll with it. So, whether she was involved or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
And to make sure everything is quiet and that nobody is truly up. He walks to the entrance of the living room and looks around. He continues to be cautious and stands there listening.
What kills me about this is whoever wrote the script for this has no clue what the hell they're saying. That's what kills me on this.
Right. And I think that's very obvious. Obviously, I think she was probably coached on what to say and what to make, but it's so far from what could have happened or what they even said happened. Also, pay attention to the timeline during this.
Right.
That's very important because it's so impossible.
Yes.
Feeling confident, he continues upstairs.
I heard her playing music.
How do you know it was her? I guess I should ask that.
I don't really know for sure why I knew it was her, but I think it's because I heard her voice and she's probably singing.
I don't know for sure why I knew it was her, but I probably because I heard her voice, and I think she was singing.
And she's probably singing.
Probably singing.
That's
Yeah.
a weird way to say that. Like
she was probably singing. Like that's just like saying, well, I went to the bathroom a little while ago and I probably peed, but I don't know. Just,
She's not recalling this from memory to me.
No.
Yes.
No, it sounds like she's reading it from a script. Yes, I agree with you.
No, that's the perfect way to say it, Logan. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. No, she is
Bingo.
not recalling that from memory.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I knew for sure it was her when she walked upstairs and she said someone's here. That's how I knew for sure that it was Kaylee.
See? So we know that part was very, very wrong. She says it right here. It's like the stories that they coached everybody on, or I'm not saying that actually happened, but somebody had a story in their head and they're recalling this from hearing a story, not from it actually happening. Because you can't have Kaylee upstairs playing with the dog and then now Dylan saying Kaylee's running upstairs with it's just not. And that's not how this works.
Right. You are on point, ma'am. You are on point.
Mm-hmm.
You see, if the state would have used what she actually said and put Kaylee and Murphy in the living room, their entire scenario, their entire narrative would have went out the window. Because just as you seen in this BS video that the whole world's seen on Dateline showing this part right here would be impossible. Koberger coming through the back door and going up the stairs to attack Maddie would be impossible if Kaylee and Murphy was in the living room. This is why that didn't make it into the probable cause affidavit correctly, because this right
Jim's got a
here
question.
would destroy the entire narrative.
Is there
Yes,
really
ma'am.
is there really a window there?
Yes.
Yeah.
There always has
Why
been.
am I not?
That's
What?
the front window that on the second floor, the front window, just
Yeah.
above Bethany's room.
Right at the top of the stairs, there's a window to the left. That's how I think that I stated before that Hunter Johnson probably saw police pull up and dropped the knife right there because he saw them pull up.
So right next to that window before the railing is where on that part of the wall all that blood was supposed to be.
Right here.
No, no. On
Or no,
the
there was some here too.
yeah, up high. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, there was some there and on the half wall. Yes, ma'am.
Well, in this illustration, they also have all the lights off, and we know that that wasn't true either.
Right. Yep. On we go.
The state had put forth for this trial. And it also proves that since we know Kaylee and Murphy were in the living room, it proves that this part right here of this entire scenario is a lie.
As he makes his way to Maddie's room, the time is about 4:14.
He has a white mask on now.
Oh, everything's white. But Hunter, here's a problem here. As he makes his way to Kaylee and Maddie's room, the time is about 4:14. There's no way that they know that. Okay?
Yeah.
They know that. That should have never been put out like that. I agree with that.
And if you think of that time, 4:14, and the time that the car they want to say is his actually drives away, meaning he's got to take time to gather all the things, all the weapons that he brought. He's got to, go outside. He's got to walk to the car. He's got to start it up or do whatever. He's got to, and then pull away, speed away. So that means you fought Ethan, Xana.
That's impossible.
3 minutes.
Fucking
Carried
impossible.
Kaylee upstairs, possibly
And-
playing phones, cleaned up. I mean, in less than 4 minutes.
Yeah, cleaned up and were clean to get back in your car to not leave a single trace.
Yep.
Single trace. Yeah, my ass.
So impossible.
Slip sliding around
And here's
and
the
all
thing,
that stuff in
even
that
if
house.
Even if he did take off all of his clothes, there would still be blood all over his skin and hands and body. That blood is soaking in through his clothes. I don't care if he changed clothes or had no clothes on. He still has blood on his person.
Yeah. The
Especially
selfie
on
the
his
next
hands.
morning.
And his shoes, especially his
Yeah.
shoes. And there's not one bloody print mark in that house.
Nope. I don't care if he had booties on and took them off. I mean, it's still getting everywhere.
Yeah.
Hey, you seen him that selfie the next morning though? He was so proud.
The next morning of many of selfies.
Very ridiculous.
That's trash. He was on
Meanwhile,
drugs, Joey.
2 minutes later, Xana takes a break from TikTok and walks into the kitchen. Evidence
I'm going to let this play, but I'm going to step away for a quick second. I'll be right back as it's playing, okay?
See?
Yeah.
I thought Xana
shows
stopped
her
using
activity on the
TikTok
app.
at 4:12. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. What'd you say?
I thought Xana stopped using TikTok at 4:12, not
Wow.
4:16.
Well, they changed that, remember, from 4:12 to 3:16.
Mm.
But what's right, what's wrong, we don't know.
Yeah, and Carol says, and clean the knife from victim to victim. Like how?
Yeah, right. That way because there doesn't seem to be any blood transfer between.
One knife. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yep.
It's a
Didn't
joke.
break. Sure. My ass.
4:16.
This is completely made up. And for one thing, the probable cause affidavit said the activity on the app stopped at 4:12, but making up her walking into the kitchen was totally made up. And it certainly doesn't match the physical evidence. There's no physical evidence that Xana ever went beyond the threshold of her door once this started. Not to mention the plate of food she was eating is in her bedroom, and her phone was found on the floor in her bedroom, according to the state in their exhibit list. So this was just a lie.
As she enters the kitchen, she's a little shocked to see the sliding glass door wide open. And at the same time, she hears a serious commotion going on upstairs.
You see, by putting Kaylee with Murphy on the third floor instead of in the living room, like Dylan said, the state can pull crap like you see this young lady pulling. But if Kaylee's in the living room with Murphy, that means the perp could have never came through this door and left it open. Therefore, Xana walking in the kitchen and getting shocked because the door was open isn't possible. So that's why you change evidence in a case to make it fit your narrative.
A source revealed that Santa's phone recorded steps and elevation change, which is how it's known she went to the kitchen and the third floor.
So
now,
why
we have
can't
never
we have
seen
that?
any information regarding any step information from any of the victims' phones whatsoever. And if they do have that information, I'm going to be very excited to see it. But I do know this, that she says that she got that from a source. Now, she's going to quote a source 3 to 4 different times, and I'm going to prove every other time that she cites a source, it is 100% false. So I have to believe the source she's citing on the phone steps is false as well.
When she walked up to Maddie's doorway, she interrupted Koberger, who had just finished an intense battle with Kaylee, who fought back violently. After a second or two, he notices her, and then she turns away. Being dark, Xana didn't realize what she was seeing other than a shadowy figure. Out of fear, she quickly leaves. A single source, unaffiliated with the media, claims Koberger injured Xana on the third-floor hallway, leaving evidence of blood there. But this single source of information has not been validated by any more sources.
Well, don't waste your time trying to validate it with other sources because it's 100% false. Now that we have the forensic reports from all the samples tested, there was 0 samples of blood tested anywhere outside of the threshold of Xana's bedroom door that tested for Xana. So your source was absolutely false and incorrect right there. So I have to assume the step source was also a big pile of crap.
Continuing, Koberger, without thinking, pursues her all the way to her room, not realizing he had dropped the sheath of his knife. When he gets to the room, he attacks Xana, and the time is precisely 4:17:30.
We already know that this animation is incorrect because as soon as Xana opens the door, the forensics show that she was attacked right there, and spatter on the light switch proves it.
After attacking Xana, Koberger focuses his attention on Ethan and attacks him while he slept. Afterwards, Koberger must have sat down in a chair according to a report, which found blood smears on Xana's chair, perhaps from the exhaustion of what he had just done.
Now, we know that was a lie just from the forensics, but also even the investigators in the case and an interview with the media after the plea deal said that that particular statement was absolutely ridiculous. So just another made up lie.
This source also says that blood from the 2 roommates upstairs were found in Xana's room, showing that it was one person moving from one room to another.
Then that's why when we got the forensic results, I spent so much time making sure that I went through every one and knew every single result because I remember the Dateline episode saying that, and that was what turned a lot of people into believing it was a one-perp crime because according to her sources, Maddie and Kaylee's blood was found in Xana's room, and it's one perpetrator because...
Sorry, that took longer than I thought. Do you need me to back up, or are we good?
I think Logan wants you to back up.
Yeah, one thing, and it was right when you first started it. Didn't Pop say that they used elevation data, not steps? And Lana has said over and over that that elevation data only tracks going up steps.
Yeah, right,
Not
because you're
down.
going upward. Yes.
Not down. And if Xana leaves her room and goes to the kitchen, there's no is there one step down and that's down?
No, that's completely different. So yeah.
So that's not elevation.
iPhones don't record downward steps. They only record steps going up, and also it has to be a certain amount before it even registers. So
do you
one
think
step up isn't going to register.
You think she went up to the 3rd floor? Is she the one that heard something? Went up?
They said it came from a source, not from phone data. I don't think they have it. I don't think that any of this is true.
I fully agree with you.
They have to have it.
And I don't think they have.
I don't know if it's
actual
true
data.
Come on, Kimmy. What do you guys want to see this for, anyways?
Sorry, Diggo.
Jesus Christmas.
What are you talking about, Mike?
No, like they said, why do you guys want to see all this stuff? You YouTubers, why do you want to see that?
Oh, got you. I missed the joke. Sorry. And what I was saying there was I don't think they have real data. I think they have word of mouth, and they created their own data based off of word of mouth or hearsay. I'll just put it that way.
Here's my thing. If they got all of the information, and I mean all of the information from the victims' phones, then why would everything continue to change? They had this time that Xana stopped, the PCA said one time, a report said another time. If they had it, it would all be consistent. And so I'm wondering if they even have detailed information from the victims' phones, other than contacts and who they were texting and calling and stuff.
I almost think as things came up and they had to like prove like how are we gonna basically send this, they had to adjust things in the background, even down to how they found this video of Brian's car and shit. It just kept rolling.
That makes sense because everything was like dripped out to the world. You know what I'm saying? Everything little by little by little by little came to us. I almost feel like that's how they put this together, was piece by piece by piece.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every time this would come around, they would add another puzzle piece, and then they would release it and drip it to us again. Drip, drip, drip.
If you have somebody else that's telling you this, let's just say, anyways, somebody from the university that's saying, hey, we got to make this go away, that's you got somebody else that's feeding, hey, okay, well, we can't do that. You know where I'm going. It's third party shit.
Yes.
I think both are true. I think they do have it. They extracted all their phones. Like, it's an investigation. That's what you do in an investigation. And they have the Cellbrite, whatever, all that stuff. Yeah. So I think they have it. They've buried it probably. And so they're just putting like they do with everything. They put their narrative out, and their narrative doesn't match the actual evidence.
Exactly.
Kim, that's exactly what I was going to say is, in this case, a lot of times you have to pay attention very specifically to the words they're using. Like Bill Thompson will say, we believe, rather than the evidence will show you this type of stuff. You have to pay attention to the words.
Yep.
And is that the real reason for all the redactions in the shit? Because they never planned for people to go this deep. And now they're like, oh shit.
That's another part of it too. Yeah.
The videos,
And it's not only for us, it's for the defense. They don't want the defense to see it.
Yeah. Yep. I agree. I truly do. And that's what Mike just said is like they weren't expecting us. Okay. So in turn, as we start questioning things and bringing things to the surface to show the world, they're like, oh shit, we got to put something else to cover this. Now we got to put something out to cover that. Now we got to put something out to show this and make this make sense and blah, blah, blah. And that's why they've been dripping it like this, piece by piece by piece. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Push it.
As he makes his way to Maddie's room, the time is about 4:14. Meanwhile, 2 minutes later, Xana takes a break from TikTok and walks into the kitchen. Evidence shows her activity on the app stopped at 4:16.
This is completely made up. And for one thing, the probable cause affidavit said the activity on the app stopped at 4:12, but making up her walking into the kitchen was totally made up. And it certainly doesn't match the physical evidence. There's no physical evidence that Xana ever went beyond the threshold of her door once this started.
Right.
Not to mention the plate of food she was eating is in her bedroom, and her phone was found on the floor in her bedroom, according to the state in their exhibit list. So this was just a lie.
As she enters the kitchen, she's a little shocked to see the sliding glass door wide open. And at the same time, she hears a serious commotion going on upstairs.
You see, by putting Kaylee with Murphy on the third floor instead of in the living room, like Dylan said, the state can pull crap like you see this young lady pulling. But if Kaylee's in the living room with Murphy, that means the perp could have never came through this door and left it open. Therefore, Xana walking in the kitchen and getting shocked because the door was open isn't possible. So that's why you change evidence in a case to make it fit your narrative.
A source revealed that Xana's phone recorded steps and elevation change, which is how it's known she went to the kitchen and the third floor.
Now, we have never seen any information regarding any step information from any of the victims' phones whatsoever.
No, and I think we've all requested that multiple times because that would tell us, one is forever saying, I would love to see their health data. I'd like to see their step in, all of that, because it's very important to something like this, in my opinion. So yeah, that would be amazing, but nothing's ever been released. And I think that's being done on purpose.
If you could.
So he said Xana's phone was on the floor, but wasn't her phone on the bed and Ethan's on the floor?
Yeah, we found that out after the fact that they were flip-flopped around.
Depends on what month, Kim.
I'm going to be honest. I don't know whose phone is whose. I don't know if that is Ethan's phone or not Ethan's phone. I just found the position of the phone strange on Ethan or on Xana's bed, just because to me it looks like there's blood spatter around it, and the blood or the phone itself doesn't have any blood on it, the white one.
Like it was laid down after the fact.
Surprise.
Right.
Kind of like a knife sheath.
The one on the bed is like a rose gold color or something, and then the other
one was black.
dark. Yeah.
I would think they would be opposite, just even by the colors of them, but
And it's still weird because if Xana's on the floor, why is her phone on the bed? If that's true, and vice versa, that is odd. I agree with that.
Why are you so concerned?
And if they do have that information, I'm going to be very excited to see it. But I do know this, that she says that she got that from a source. Now, she's going to quote a source 3 to 4 different times, and I'm going to prove every other time that she cites a source, it is 100% false. So I have to believe the source she's citing on the phone steps is false as well.
When she walked up to Maddie's doorway, she interrupted Koberger, who had just finished an intense battle with Kaylee, who fought back violently.
Now, if we go based on what we were told, this is when the crime actually is committed. This is when it starts, 4:17 a.m. Okay. But again, that came from the toilet paper, or sorry, the PCA. And now we have this. So just saying.
After a second or two, he notices her, and then she turns away. Being dark, Xana didn't realize what she was seeing other than a shadowy figure. Out of fear, she quickly leaves. A single source, unaffiliated with the media, claims Koberger injured Xana on the 3rd floor hallway, leaving evidence of blood there.
So tell me, go ahead, Kim, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Tell me then why Dylan's statement has been accepted then that this is Kaylee, not Xana. Anybody, please tell me that.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
Tell me why. I feel like I'm about to start singing a Backstreet Boys song. Tell me why.
Tell me why.
Come on, Joey, one more time.
Ain't nothing but anyway. Why is Dylan's story accepted then that this was Kaylee and not Xana?
But did you forget? She was the star witness. They had the whatever the evidence, bud, whatever the hell.
But we were told it was Xana until Dylan's interviews came out.
Exactly.
So we were told Xana.
And this is what I was saying earlier. They adjust the case to fit the narrative when they need to. 2.5 years, Kim, we were told it was Xana. It was Xana. Dylan's story drops 2.5 years into this, and all of a sudden, boom, it's Kaylee, and it's okay. No big deal.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? You would think that they could say, oh, yeah, Dylan recalled it correctly because of this or that, because they checked the dang evidence, but that's not what happened. They're going off what people are saying.
Yeah, I agree. And I'll tell you another thing, guys. The big problem with this whole thing is there's only one person in here.
You know what I got a problem with? If I was a parent, I would be PISSED.
Well, they should be. They should be because this was not this. They should be. I'll just put it that way. They should be.
But do they have NDAs?
Does who? The parents?
Yeah.
You got to wonder that. You definitely got to wonder that.
That's
Are there non-disclosure agreements that were signed and agreed to at some point in this case? Because now,
I mean, the Heaton and AC boys, they had to sign one. Just saying.
Well, technically, the gag order is their NDA in a sense.
Well, when they lifted that, though, it makes me wonder, Logan, was there something else handed off to them saying, we're going to lift the gag on this, so on and so forth. Let's go ahead and move forward with this. But I need you to sign this because there's certain things we still don't want you to talk about.
Very, very possible. It's very possible.
I just wonder.
But with the leak investigation still going on, is it lifted for everybody, or are they still under some sort of something
good
because
question.
of the leak investigation?
That's a great question.
And you want to know what? That is exactly why you're here.
Oh, now
So
Kim's singing.
at this point that you stopped it, did they just say that Xana was attacked upstairs?
Yeah,
Pretty much.
They're saying that there's blood on the third floor coming down that belongs to Xana. Where's that at?
Yeah.
We haven't seen that.
No, we haven't. It's not there.
No, that doesn't match any of the blood evidence.
And
But
here-
Kaylee's blood is in the living room.
Yeah, of
Right.
course.
Yeah.
Why aren't they talking about that in this?
First floor steps. Stairway.
I'm
Right,
not
but-
sure. So, okay, and this is the whole problem. So, Dateline has put this out to millions and millions of people right before the trial was supposed to start. Look at all of the misinformation in here, but somebody who doesn't know the case wouldn't know any different. And you want that person on your jury
Mm-hmm.
when
Quote,
you have a
unquote,
death penalty case?
Accredited. And they sent it.
No,
That's why they did
way.
it for the average American that just watches those shows to just get their narrative.
Right.
I mean, think of especially women who might be listening to something like a Dateline while they're doing dishes or picking up their house or putting kids in a bath or whatever. And they're hearing it subconsciously too. And it might stick with them. And, you never know why or what somebody's doing when they're listening, and it's registering, but they don't even realize how much it's registering. Then you get onto a jury and, that's part of the reason Brian Koberger probably was like, I don't stand a fucking chance.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very
It
good
also
point.
sounds like a coordinated attempt at that pressure to him, because not only did the Dateline come out, but isn't that when Molly's interview came out where she was saying, I have to go testify against Brian? So it made it look like, so they just like doubled down on all this stuff coming out against him.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to break all that down and see how they pushed shit and how it was on purpose for exactly what you're bringing up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sorry.
And Foya's got a point. The Dateline producer of this series bragged on social media about how he got to make a few things very exaggerated. And I did know that. There were some other things that came out about the producer about this, too. It's really disgusting, truly. Thank you, Foya.
And they even did shit with this because, obviously we've been through this. As this went on, how many Thursday or Friday nights that shit would get dropped and we would be up all weekend.
Yeah. Every time.
With their little, trails.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because it's convenient. They would drop Fridays and Tuesdays, without fail. That's what we did every weekend. So, yeah.
Sorry, Logan, if I was running over top of you.
No, not at all.
On we go.
Yes, sir.
But the single source of information has not been validated by any more sources.
Well, don't waste your time trying to validate it with other sources because it's 100% false. Now that we have the forensic reports from all the samples tested, there was 0 samples of blood tested anywhere outside of the threshold of Xana's bedroom door that tested for Xana. So your source was absolutely false and incorrect right there. So I have to assume the step source was also a big pile of crap.
Continuing, Koberger, without thinking, pursues her all the way to her room, not realizing he had dropped the sheath of his knife. When he gets to the room, he attacks Xana, and the time is precisely 4:17:30.
We already know that this animation is incorrect because as soon as Xana opens the door, the forensics show that she was attacked right there, and spatter on the light switch proves it.
After attacking Xana, Koberger focuses his attention on Ethan and attacks him while he slept.
Oh, so
Afterwards,
hold
Koberger
on.
sat down in a chair, according to a report.
Hold on. So Ethan's sleeping in a bed or sitting in a bed or laying in a bed or whatever he's doing in that bed, and Xana goes through an attack like she did in that room and he doesn't wake up or he doesn't stand up or stop it.
Yep. And keep
You
in
see how they
mind,
just pass over that like it's just so simple because they have an imagery for the viewers of Ethan just laying in a bed sleeping right there, so it makes you think it's dark and he's just sleeping. No, all these lights are on. There's no way it was one person. This totally pisses me off.
He's naked.
And it's obvious what this is, you guys. Think
It's
about
bullshit.
when this was released. Think about what this was. It's absolute jury tampering. Absolute
Absolutely.
jury tampering.
And the fact that when Ann Taylor came back and asked for, she's like, how am I going to defend this, basically? And Hitler
Right.
was like, no, you don't get any more time. That's such bull crap.
Yes.
It's so unfair. That is jury tampering.
Yeah. There's
One
so
second. I
much
got to
bullshit.
pick up my order. My order's here. One
Oh,
second.
you stop it.
Well, when I walk away, then my order's here.
And it was
It is-
absolutely intentional. 1,000,000%. And they knew this was to put the nail in the coffin, folks, before trial happened. And in turn, think about this. This came out. Plea deal.
Just think.
Yeah.
The
It was to
powers
force
that be.
the plea.
Bingo. Disgusting.
You-
Molly's at the door.
That's
Don't tip her, Logan.
funny.
No tippy for you.
Yeah, it was a coordinated effort. They did everything in court that they needed to do to stop the defense. Then they put everything out to the public, and they drove the narrative the whole entire time.
Right.
Everything that, like, they fed to the family members who went out and spoke, that they fed to reporters, everything. And then it all came to a head.
Every bit of it.
Something's wrong here.
Faux show.
That's a good one. We say side eye.
Pick this up again, but this is all 1,000,001% propaganda, folks. And this was run purposely, intentionally through the media, like I've always said, to crucify and to convict Brian Koberger in the court of public opinion. 1,000,001%. And this was, like I said, this came out right before the trial was headed. We could see it. It was 100 yards away from this. Okay, they knew. Boom! This will do it. We're done. And here we come.
And I'm going to go a little conspiracy on this, but not. But how in the hell did they? How did they put him? How did they find him to enter him into this?
Brian?
Yeah.
There's a lot of different angles I've looked at with that mic, trying to figure that out, and
crazy.
It could be the interviews he did with law enforcement for employment. He was referred to this area via a teacher that he had back at sales, I think it was. There's a lot of different possibilities with this. There truly is, and that's what one of the biggest mysteries to this is, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I always thought the work that he was doing, and I would love to hear more about that. Maybe that'll come out in the WSU lawsuit.
What exactly was he doing?
Well, I heard, and I don't know why I heard this, right? I don't know, from the news. It was so long ago that the reason he went out there is because he was going to work on small rural towns, upgrading their, what do you call that? Their surveillance.
Right.
Going for a PhD.
What's up?
Going for a PhD. You know, like the guy was calculated. You know, he was out there for I feel it in a very important role. You know.
Yeah. And it sounds like he might have, a lot of times someone might dual major, or you have a major and a minor, or things like that. And it sounds like he had some kind of technical computer surveillance knowledge. I think it was with the cloud data. I think it was to teach them. And I just feel he was in that system and discovered something. I've always had that gut feeling.
That's weird.
And so why would they want to pin it on him? Because he was going to call them out for something, I think. And we all know that there was a lot of shady stuff going on in Washington with not only the people that got let go or quit or whatever for the, inappropriate sexual conduct that they had, but there's been whole episodes done on missing money. Like the money doesn't match up when they do drug busts and they take in, but then their accounting doesn't match.
So, She's Just a Devil Woman made an interesting comment. She said, what's wild is the fact that none of the families corrected any of the Dateline information.
No.
Exactly.
They didn't come out and correct anything. Not the families, not anybody
took
involved in
everything.
the case. It's wild.
Yeah.
They let it be.
It
Thank
makes you
so
wonder.
much.
Go ahead, bud.
Thank you so much, Janet, for that. Enjoy your content. Thanks for all you do. I'm not sure who that went to, but thank you very much. We do appreciate it. Go ahead. Sorry about that.
Diego. Oh, I
Do
just
what?
got one too.
Oh, thank you,
I
Janet.
said I think that was yours.
And Thomas?
Yeah, there's a question. Is there any chance Brian didn't do this? Hi, Thomas.
Absolutely, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's a huge chance that he didn't do this. I think when Glitch DNA was on both of our channels, she answered a question that made it seem even more plausible that he didn't do this, just from the aspect of the DNA and how where the DNA was found is actually like a lint trap on that sheet.
It's very loose.
Yeah, and how it kind of flaps around and it pulls in the environment to it and stays there.
Yep. And
So
then
it could have gotten there anyway.
And that's another thing that we were talking about. Changed. It went from the button to now. Then it goes to around the strap. And as she said, if it goes on the metal, yes. So, anyways.
Isn't that wild how everyone just kind of accepted it? I mean, for us, of course, there's a huge difference between the snap and the strap, a huge difference in how DNA stays there or doesn't stay there. It would not stay on the snap like that, but it would on the strap, especially in that location. What's crazy is, go ahead, Dago.
I was just going to say what I find funny about that is the fact that it didn't change until YouTube decided to make a big deal about it and point out that if it stays on the snap for very long, it's going to disintegrate. It doesn't exist. And then conveniently, when they release things, all of a sudden, now it's on the strap and not the snap. And I'm not saying it's because of us. All I'm saying is it didn't change until we all pointed that out and made a big deal about it.
Hey,
but how does that change 3 years later?
It
you know
shouldn't.
what I mean? Right.
Turn down your background speakers a little bit.
Who, me?
No, there you go. They're coming through a little bit.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah, you're good. Sorry, Logan.
I don't know. It's just wild.
Yeah.
Love and Other Habits says gaslighting, and that's exactly what it is. You tell us for 3 years that there's even interviews with people from Othram who say the sample came from the snap.
Yep.
Like, you guys don't even know where it's coming from?
Yeah.
That makes a difference.
Didn't expect anybody to freaking question, you know? Crazy.
Another question. Thomas. Thanks, Thomas. So if it's possible Brian didn't do this, then why the plea deal? Oh my goodness.
Thank you, Thomas, again.
Yes. Thank you.
And that's a great question.
So maybe we could do a one-on-one on this. We'll get everybody's opinion, like Dago's, Kim's, mine.
Yeah.
I'm going to go last, though. Thanks.
And this is
You're
for
welcome.
both of these. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
But yeah, so why the plea deal then? Why, if it's possible Brian didn't do this, then why the plea deal? What do you think, Kim?
So our country, the lawyers, what do I want to call it, that system is designed to force plea deals. It is extremely common. I did a whole episode on this. You can go back and look for that. It is researched and there's data to show that that's the culture. Like, it's easier, it's cost saving, it saves money if you and what they do is they overcharge the crime, and then they threaten severe consequences like the max, and then in this case, we're seeing all the other ways that they forced this plea deal. So it's very common for innocent people, and everybody says, why would you do it if you were innocent? Innocent people do it all the time because they feel like their back's up against the wall,
Yep.
and they're like screwed either way, so they just take a plea deal.
Absolutely, Mikey. Your
think
thoughts
Mikey
on that
did.
question?
He went
No, I'm good. I'll just take it. So in my thoughts, and I guess it's just, I'm going to take this on just like why I think Brian took a plea deal is because, they got to a certain point where, they were so close to getting ready to go to trial and they didn't even have all the discovery. So at a certain point, as I'm going to say, as calibrated as I think he is, and, it may not have shown people like, oh, he just sits there, whatever. They planned that basically they had to get another plan together, and do, if they do offer a plea, accept it, because we have to go at this with a complete different angle, because we've tried once, twice. We're in a different city now trying this, and we're still getting pushed, in the wrong direction, and we can't win this. So we got to hit a different angle. How we're going to do that right now, I don't know.
Right.
So,
and yes, Steven says, I always thought the state leaked to Dateline so that they get that plea deal. That's a very, that's a great statement, sir, and a grand possibility, I'll say. Logan, what's your thoughts on that question?
So mine kind of comes like threefold, fourfold. I do think that the Dateline leak was to push him towards that. I think that his family being threatened and him being threatened is a huge deal. We don't know how awful those threats were and how serious they really took them. This is all happening right before the plea deal. They were supposed to go to trial. Personally, I don't think it was ever going to go to trial. So we've got the leak of information, which right there, you're screwed in a trial. The jury is probably seen it.
Yes.
Then we have the threatening. So now we have two different things.
Yes.
The fact that Hitler blocked the defense at every point possible. He didn't stand a chance in a trial. She could not defend her client. She didn't have all the information. They wouldn't give her more time for the leak. They wouldn't give her more time simply because she didn't have all the information she needed to defend her client. And then the fourth part for me is the fact that I sat in a courtroom and pled guilty to a crime I didn't commit. Yes, I too have always said I would scream from the rooftop until I'm blue in the face and can't scream anymore. I didn't commit this crime. And you guys, that's just not how it works. Everybody in that courtroom is against you. Everybody around you is completely against you. You're standing in a courtroom. You're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to defend yourself. You're not allowed to do anything. You have to take the lesser of two evils. And I think that's what he did, because that's what I did as well. Not the same level of crime, obviously. Mine's a small town little thing that I didn't even do. But that's what happens, is you feel like you're up against the whole world. Everybody in this courtroom is lying on you and you don't have anything to do. And as you're looking around you, you're thinking, this is going to put me to my death.
Agreed.
So he took the lesser of two evils. He didn't stand a chance. And that is why people plead guilty to crimes they didn't commit, because no matter what you say, when you say it, who you say it to, even your own public defender who you think is on your side, they're not.
Yeah.
They work with the prosecution. They work side by side in the same offices. That's why people plead guilty to a crime they didn't commit.
She puts together my thoughts very well.
And my answer to that is everything they said. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
It's absolutely, they were pushed against the wall. Imagine watching this if you're standing trial for this crime, okay? And imagine watching this and going, Ann probably watched it. I guarantee you Ann watched this and said, oh my God.
You didn't even get the crime scene photos.
I'm sorry?
You didn't even get the crime scene photos.
Right. So, like, imagine as the attorney defending this person, you're that's one thing. You didn't get that. But you're watching this and realizing what they just gave the world. They just gave this to the world, and the world she knows as an attorney, it's done. They're not going to, he has no chance. Okay. The judge refused to give us the continuance. I have no way to deal with this. The judge refused to allow the third-party defense and alternate suspect. End of story. She had nothing at that point, folks. They had no chance to do anything. And once this came out, like I said, the nail in the coffin. She knew, in my opinion. So,
expert witness on the cell data.
Yeah, well, there's that. But that's my opinion. Is everything they said plus that. So yeah. Great question, Thomas. Very great question. Appreciate that very much, guys. So we're gonna run a little bit more of this, guys, because we're coming to the point where we got to shut this down. But let's get through the rest of this here.
Which found blood smears on Xana's chair, perhaps from the exhaustion of what he had just done.
Well, we know that was a lie just from the forensics, but also even the investigators in the case in an interview with the media after the plea deal said that that particular statement was absolutely ridiculous.
Why was that even added? And then we saw the crime scene photographs. There's no blood markings on that chair. There's no butt print or whatever the hell you want to call it. There's nothing on that chair. Nothing that I saw. So, hey, Krista, good to see you. Just saying, more lies, and more lies.
So just another made up lie.
This source also says that blood from the 2 roommates upstairs were found in Xana's room, showing that it was one person moving from one room to another.
Then that's why when we got the forensic results, I spent so much time making sure that I went through every one and knew every single result, because I remember the Dateline episode saying that, and that was what turned a lot of people into believing it was a one perp crime, because according to her sources, Maddie and Kaylee's blood was found in Xana's room. It's one perpetrator because of the cross-contamination. Not one piece of anything of Maddie and Kaylee was found in Xana's room. Not one piece of Xana's anything was found outside of her room. And there was no cross-contamination even with Xana or Ethan. There was absolutely 4 perpetrators. And this entire thing was made up lies. And no wonder Kohberger took a plea deal, because they could watch this.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Right there, we know from the documents, it says there was staging in this room. And I
Yes.
believe they described it as Kaylee being on top of Maddie almost.
Yeah.
Right. So just another. And we've heard probably 3 different versions at least about Kaylee. So
At
why
least.
is Kaylee such the mystery? You know, like she was propped up in the corner and she couldn't have escaped because she was cornered in the room, right? That
Yeah.
was the
Right.
first one. And yeah.
She was supposed to move out, but all her stuff was yet still in the house. There's a
Mhm.
lot. There's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's multiple stories about everything. But with what Kim's talking about, I've heard that she was like Kim said, that she was laying in the bed, supine, okay, that she was thrown over top of Maddie, that she was sat up in the corner like she was trying to get away from the perpetrator. Which one's right, guys? It makes me wonder if that's even any of those are even true. Maybe they found her on the floor. They're not going to tell us though. Okay, that's what I'm saying.
What is supine? On your back?
Yes.
Yeah, laying flat, supine.
So didn't they say all of them, all the victims were that way? I thought.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, so they didn't give that information to Asgat.
But here's the thing. They weren't, okay? Because unfortunately, we had the unfortunate ability of seeing some photographs that we should have seen. Xana is laying like this, like Maddie is here, okay, in the kind of the fetal position to some extent. To some extent. Ethan, from my understanding, was laying like with a leg off the bed. Maddie was with one leg off the bed.
Yes.
None of it's true. They've never given us true to form actual results of positioning of the body, folks. They just told us these different stories and said which one's going to stick to them. You know, whatever one they accept, we'll stay with that. That's bullshit to me. I'm sorry.
So this is kind of a dumb thought. In all of Dylan's like stories, how come she really didn't mention Maddie? I don't know. Roll it.
I mean, that's a good question. It's a good question.
And go, my goodness, everybody's going to believe it, and it's all a lie.
Kohberger sitting down was for less than 30 seconds. As he gets up to leave, Dylan, hearing the commotion from Xana's.
Well, we're already past the 4:18 now. or I'm sorry, the perpetrators took a seat and had tea while they were waiting, okay, and then got up and took off again.
Room, gets up out of bed and goes to her door to look out into the hallway. She freezes and sees Koberger as he walks by and exits through the kitchen. She immediately closes and locks her door and retreats to her bed. Within 20 seconds of the encounter, she's calling and texting her roommates, but no one is responding.
Which we've all tried and know that that's some bullshit. She didn't try to call them. She dialed their phone numbers and hung up. Okay, that's how I look at it. Somebody made a statement in my show earlier. Okay. Yes. And they said that if this is all true and you heard your friend, your good friend, scream, somebody's in the house and come running down the stairs, why did you jump up and lock her out of your room instead of saying, hey, come in here, and then lock the door? Explain that one, Dylan.
Yeah, buddy.
Because guess what, guys? If she came running down them stairs, guess whose door is at the bottom of the stairs? Dylan. You could have had the door there, standing there, hearing her run down, open the door, come in here, you're safe in here, lock the door then? Nope. Well, I'll tell you why I believe she didn't. Because she wasn't instructed to do that. She was instructed to shut and lock her door and stay in her room and be quiet. And she'll stay safe that way.
Why you always gotta be picking on her?
Talking about steps. The other day when we were looking through those photos, I forgot to bring it up, but Bethany's room is right under those first floor steps.
Right.
And right under the living room, right? So obviously something happened on those first floor steps.
Yes.
And it's right there. It's like right above her. Like she had to have heard that.
She was tipsy, Kim. Jeepers creepers.
She was up with a toothache. She heard it.
Insane.
In the memory.
Another falsehood. We know that Dylan didn't call anybody at 41907. Bethany called Dylan and said, according to her testimony in the grand jury, that she told Dylan that she thought she heard something. Dylan then hung up, made 2 phone calls to Xana and Kaylee, and then made a phone call back to Bethany.
Well, she didn't actually make phone calls. Like I said, Bronx and I experimented with this the other night. She dialed what we believe. She dialed the number and hung up. That's what she did. That way it's recorded in her phone that she tried to contact them. But any idiot can look at the timestamp on the call and realize there's no time here. You didn't do anything except try to protect your own ass.
That's when she came back alive and had to start making, basically timestamps in this story.
Right.
I'm wondering if Bethany hadn't called Dylan, would she have never said anything to anyone?
That's a good point. Very good.
That's
a very interesting point because can you imagine how that would have played out?
Like, Bethany kind of cracked the problem. You know what I mean? Like, because Bethany inserted herself, then Dylan had to make up this whole story and do all of this extra stuff and pretend to call the roommates. And now she had to act like
imagine if Bethany, right. Imagine if Bethany was not there that night, Logan.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Dylan wouldn't have said anything.
Bethany seems to be the most calmest, non-dramatic. Just saying.
It is interesting how quiet, calm, and collected she had. I mean, she was, of course, crying and acting out and this and that, but very quiet ever since and very detached from the situation, as we've always said.
Where she testified in the grand jury that she said that she told Bethany she had seen a man in a mask. And that was at 4:20 and 20 seconds. The guy that left in the white car, we hear the door shut at 4:19. And according to the law enforcement, they did tests to prove that that was the right car's door shutting. So that could not have been Brian Koberger in black that she had seen in the house, because according to the state, it was Brian Koberger in the white car, which we know is not the case now either. But either way,
the damn fog lights.
This entire thing
clip on
was nothing but lies. And it has skewed the mind of so many people out there from the day it was published.
Which is exactly why it was created. I'm going to tell you right now, this was created for that reason. To create propaganda, to convict Brian Koberger in the world's mind. That's my opinion. People will disagree. I don't care at this point because you can see it. And you saw what played out after the fact. And I'm very passionate, as you all know, about this, okay? Very, very passionate about this because 3 years is a long time to invest in something, folks. And to look at this, to know this, to realize this, it's insane to me, the lengths that they went to make sure that this man was the one, period.
It's a hell of a drive.
To this very day, I hear those same things, and they're all lies. Give me a break.
In this statement right here, thank you, Saber Sleuth. Guys, we talked about this 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. When it was brought to Christie's attention and they asked her, she said it in a live interview about the calls being made. Christie said there were no calls or texts from the roommates on Kaylee's phone records. You have to have a phone call dialed, received, or even dialed, okay, to register, as we saw. So it never happened. It never happened. She wasn't trying to call them. She just had to, in my opinion, again, I said this, cover her own ass to fit their narrative, period. That's how I feel about that. So there it is, guys. There it is. Any other thoughts before we move away from this? I'll be right back. You go for it.
Jesus.
I don't know. I just think that, this putting this out and so completely incorrect right before what was supposed to be a trial, which I'm going to be honest, I don't think there was ever going to be a trial. From the beginning, I was like, this is not going to go to trial. It's just not possible.
Big ass case.
Yeah, the prosecution wouldn't have been able to logically prove all of this stuff is fact and correct and true. But if you stop the defense from having all of the information or the correct information or playing games with the information, then yeah, I suppose it could happen. But I think that's ultimately why he took a plea deal. So it's just crazy. I mean, they put out this huge depiction of everything, and yet, they have simply, the lights are on. They have them off in the depiction. Yeah. It's just to crucify Brian.
It's crazy how they can connect those webs through those powers.
Yep.
For certain things, I
would like to do an experiment to see how long it takes to, not for real, you know what I mean, but to do all of these wounds on each person and the time it takes and the energy
I've already been there with so say and I thought of this, like just going from the car to the house, and let's say running upstairs, like if you were to go and park in a parking garage and go and run up the stairs to the next level and back down and back to your car, I guarantee you, if you were to go up the stairs one level in a parking garage and then come back down and go to your car, I bet you that's going to at least take 6 minutes. And I'd like to see how gassed out somebody is after that.
Just from the beginning, nobody's going to walk into a home that they have never scoped out or anything and just walk straight in. At the very least, you're going to hang out on the outside and peek in windows first.
That's ballsy. Yeah, especially when you report on that he's wearing gloves to freaking do shit around the house, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Pretty ballsy.
Yeah.
When you've got one roommate stated to be in the living room, another one getting a DoorDash, got food.
He stalked him though, Kim. He stalked him.
No, Bill Thompson said, there's no stalking. That was a lie. Remember with the survey?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Disaster.
But
you're a disaster.
Even my husband, who has been, they have the right guy the whole entire time, he is very suspicious about the withholding of the information, not releasing. He's like, the case is over, just release everything. And so he's
they're not.
And there's certain points that, like, when he sees them, he's going to change his mind, and that's just that's it for me, is withholding of stuff that has been
Sure.
through the whole entire case.
There should be no. There was so much secrecy in this case. There should be none. First off, but okay, I'll take your gag order. It's done. Okay, why are we still blurring people's faces? Why are we withholding, redacting things? Anything at this point? Anything? Okay, any of that? Why are we redacting, withholding, burying, and keeping things a secret? Truly and honestly, tell me, anybody.
And then the
Thank you,
crazy
Crud
money for
Dog.
those records.
Yeah, thank you, Crud Dog, for the super sticker. Time will tell. Hopefully, the truth will prevail and justice will be served. Absolutely. Do you
Amen.
guys wonder if, because of our community, and I mean everybody in chat, everybody who has a show, and everybody in their chat, do you think that we're the ones who have stopped them from releasing the true, the information because they realize that they screwed up, and we've all caught them,
I do.
Oh, yeah.
and now
I
they're
do.
hiding from it?
If you notice, Logan, there's things that get released after we complain about things for a while. Next thing you know, there's something that gets dropped conveniently.
You know,
that's not coincidence. Sorry.
It is all the fees that they say, because they have to have these FOIA requests reviewed. I don't even know. But anyways, by whatever attorneys or whatever is, it basically, they
Thank
got to
you,
spend that
Golf
amount of time to properly legally cover their asses.
Right.
Thank you, Gulf Coast Bum, for sending the $20 super sticker. We appreciate you so
Sweet.
much.
Good
So
stuff,
amazing.
Gulf
You guys are
Coast.
so great. You guys
Here,
treat
this-
us so well.
Yes, very well. And this is for you both that just dropped. All right. Thank you. Thank you. You guys rock and roll. I love it. So yeah, that's all. And we got plenty more to be talking about with this, guys. There's more things, in my opinion, that are going to be. I have an opinion that within the next 3 months, there's going to be an implosion in this case, folks. A big time implosion. What exactly it's going to be?
Yeah.
I'm not 100%. I'm not going to say it, but I do believe that there will be an appeal filed by the defense of some sort. I'll tell you that much. And I also believe that the shit is going to go 300 miles an hour straight directly at the damn fan. Okay? And when that happens, you'll see us every day, all day. I can promise you that much.
That's right.
All of us. So, any last thoughts there, Miss Logan?
No, I just want to thank everybody for always tuning in and being here and supporting us. And you guys are just amazing. You guys are what makes the show every single time. So you guys are more appreciated than, do something nice for yourself today. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to you and to Moles.
That's right. Michael,
No,
Mr. Last 24.
Just appreciate everybody coming out. That's about it, buddy.
All right. And of course, Miss Kim with Typically Unique.
This was a great discussion. I love getting together with you guys. I think it's an excellent panel. Everybody brings their own unique personalities and thoughts, and it's always a great discussion. And I want to thank everybody that was hanging out in my chat. And thank you for all the donations, and the comments that you guys leave are wonderful. So very thought-provoking. There were great questions. So I appreciate all of you.
Amen to that. And I will say, first and foremost, guys, I love this show. And I want to thank my producer down there in the corner, Mikey, for throwing this idea at me and mixing it up and making this happen. I want to thank Miss Kim for saying yes to this. Miss Logan for saying yes to this. This is exciting. I look forward to this every single Saturday, you guys. I love it. I do. I truly love it. I love it more than my own show. I do. And I also love doing the Crimes After Dark with Devil's Advocates and Miss Logan down there in the corner as well. I look forward to that too, guys. I love this, where we can get together and have these conversations. This is the 3rd episode, I think, of this show. And guys, every one of them's been amazing thus far. And I appreciate each and every one of you for being here and supporting us from all these channels. You're all amazing. This is one amazing and intelligent and beautiful community as far as I'm concerned. We love every one of you guys so very much. And all the moderators, you guys, again, I can't speak highly enough about all you guys. You guys are amazing, truly, absolutely. And thank you guys all for worrying about Miss Logan and her door escapade yesterday. I loved it. I loved it. You guys are amazing that way. Thank you guys for supporting each and every one of our own personal channels. We love you guys for that as well. Thank you to the moderators that moderate those channels. We would not exist without you guys. That's a fact. And guys, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Don't change a thing. You are the beautiful people. And don't forget, guys, in just a half an hour, I will be right back with Devil's Advocates and Crimes After Dark. Logan, are you there tonight as well?
Yeah, I gotta feed Bronx and take him out and do some stuff, so I might be a little late, but I should be there.
That sounds like a plan. Guys, we will see you next Saturday night. Have a great one, folks. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks for coming through to the verdict room where we're seeking truth. Yeah, we're seeking truth. Hey. Last 24, they rewinded. True crime heads go find it. Breaking every angle, every track. Bronx telling tales, keeps us on track. Typically unique, never act. Being real, being sharp, being exact. Exposing every secret in the dark. Every little timeline, every mark. Welcome to the verdict room, where we're seeking the truth, looking for answers, bringing the facts to you. They break it all down. That day goes cafe scenes, working together, throwing revelations at your feet. Oh.
Crime scene chart, they erase that. Put the story back, then replace facts. Looking for the motive in the cracks. Red yarn on the board, then it snaps. Voices in my ear through the week till they hit play. Then we speak. Files on the table, case on the line. They don't just tell it, they define.
Welcome to the verdict room, where we're seeking the truth, looking for answers, bringing the facts to you. They break it all down. That day goes cafe seats, working together, throwing revelations at your feet. From the Bronx to the world, let it ring. Every missing little detail that they bring, dropping that gavel when they're done with the beat. Thanks for tapping in. See you next week. Welcome to the verdict room, where we're seeking the truth, looking for answers, bringing the facts.